Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Wherever you are, I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. We are back again with a special guest to have an amazing conversation. As you guys know, what we do is we try to get the best out of the guests that we bring for you guys and talk about special things. And this week, I'm going to be having a very interesting conversation, I tell you guys, with the one and only Jama today. Preacher from West Africa is here in Ethiopia and is willing to have this conversation with us. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, sister.
The pleasure is all mine.
I love this country.
I have a first question. I'm gonna drop the bomb first.
Yes, please do.
Did you come to Ethiopia to preach?
Yes, I'm a preacher, but it's a different sort of preacher.
Really? What
Yes.
kind?
I am a Pan-Africanism preacher.
Is there something called like that, sir?
Yes, there is a Pan-African preacher like me, is a Pan-African preacher who preaches about self-knowledge, who preaches about Haile Selassie, Nkrumah, African Union, Jomo Kenyatta. I don't preach about Mandela because Mandela sold us to the whiteys.
But sir, I feel like you cannot choose sides. If you preach, you gotta preach about everyone that contributed to Pan-Africanism.
No, Mandela is a different case. Look what is happening in South Africa.
Yes.
The Afrikaners, you know the Afrikaners?
Yes.
The what? South
Yes.
Africa. They are taking the gold, they are taking Desmond Tutu, they are taking Ramaphosa. They are on top, while the black South Africans, they are down there.
Okay. I feel
So,
like, yeah.
I'm preaching the real Africans, like Mugabe. You know Mugabe, right?
Yes, of course.
The most intelligent African president is Mugabe. Jomo Kenyatta, you know Kenyatta. Nkrumah from Ghana and Haile Selassie.
Okay,
Of course.
only those.
Ja. Woo! I love Ja.
So we kind of had a good conversation to start with, but for you to introduce yourself, let me give you the chance.
So my name is Preacher Jamatunde. I'm not the regular preacher. I am a Pan-Africanist preacher. And the book says, my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. Yes. So I want to create awareness and share a different light on the art of loving yourself. Because in order to love others, you must first love yourself.
True.
That's what the book says. And Africa is lost on that game, on loving ourselves. Because our psychology, our mindset, as the activist said, most Africans, when we are, turned inside out and outside in, we are ripped of self-knowledge. You understand my English?
Of course.
You get the message? I know.
Yes, sir.
Yes. We are ripped of self-knowledge, identity, and culture.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to go to Europe, we want to go to America, we want to Australia. Yes. But when you look at real Africans like Haile Selassie, like Nkrumah, like help me.
I'm not going to help you. You came here to talk.
Jomo Kenyatta. You look at them and they want to make Africa great again, the African way, not the Western way. So I want to preach Pan-Africanism wherever I go in Africa. That is what I do.
Okay, so we will see how you're going to preach here. Yes. And I mean, that's what we're doing on this special episode. Yes. But yeah, I'm feeling bad because you didn't ask me my name. You didn't ask me to.
Oh, sorry, sister. What's your name?
My name is Tsaga Belai Hadara Hailu.
Siga, like Siga?
Is that the only word you heard?
Shakla tips. Whoop. I love Ethiopian names. Because the Ethiopian names rhyme. You can sing with Ethiopian names.
For example?
Aberech aselefech keberech. You see the male names like Gese Tapasa was.
But that's not a poem.
I love it. It rhymes. You can sing. By the way, you have a very rich language. You have a rich language. You can take any other language, for example, English.
Okay.
And when you turn it into Amharic, it has a meaning.
For example, again.
For example, Tirawore.
Okay.
Abraham Traore.
Yes.
Or Tirawore. He's rich. Amharic language should be the official language of the African Union. That's why I love this country.
Yeah, maybe we should work on that.
Yes. Tirawore or Terawore.
Okay.
See how intelligent Africans are.
Sorry, you're funny. You should be a comedian.
Yes. Comedian and a preacher.
That would be good.
Mostly preachers are comedians. the actors. Next question.
I don't want to
I
laugh.
don't want
Okay.
to get into trouble.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Next
Neither
question,
do I. So, as a person that lives in Ethiopia and got her whole entire life here,
Yes.
I might not see the difference of our country, especially when it comes to the diversity that we put out in our beautiful continent. So, how's your experience here in Ethiopia?
I love Ethiopia. I
Why?
love it. If I can be anything other than my country, I would be Ethiopian. Ethiopia is a clean city. It's a clean city now. And the people are more friendly. They like you, Faranji, Faranji. But when they see me, Afrikawi, Afrikawi, like they are not African. They are Europeans. But I still love Ethiopians. Ethiopia has the most beautiful women. Most beautiful in Africa.
But, sir, don't forget, you came to preach.
Yes, but preaching does not prohibit you from admiring
That is true. Well, you have a
the
point.
beauty. Yes, I love Ethiopia. And the funny thing about Ethiopians is some Ethiopians, they say we're not black.
Really?
Yes. And I say, have you looked at the picture of Emperor Minilik? He's a dark-skinned man. Mandela is more light-skinned than Minilik. He's a black man. And, so, and they say, we are not black. Some Ethiopians, he says, we are not black. And when they are celebrating Adwa, they say, Adwa is the victory of all black people. If you are not black, how can you say that? Next question.
The next question won't take us far from this one that you just answered. So, out of all those places that you could travel in Africa, you chose to come to Ethiopia. What was the reason? What grabbed your attention, sir?
So, as you know, Ethiopia is the birthplace of Pan-Africanism. If you look at Ethiopian kings, they were fighters. Yes. They were warriors. Eh? They were undefeatable. Look at, Meznagna.
Huh?
Meznagna.
Who?
I say, Tedros, I tricked you. Cigar tips, I tricked you. If you look at Minilik, if you look at Balcha Abanus, and if you look at Alula Baniga, Alula Baniga is Rome's migraine, by the way. It's Rome's migraine. Whenever the Romans hear Alula Baniga, they faint. They tremble and faint. If you look at the profound impact Ethiopia had on the rest of the world, the black community. If you look at, what was his name? Martin Luther.
Okay.
Not the German one, not the preacher. Martin, the black one. If you look at Malcolm X, all the black consciousness, root, yes? All the black consciousness, root is from this beautiful country. That is why I love Ethiopia. Most African-American comedians, the profound impact that the Ethiopian black consciousness had on the black African-American community. They are making jokes on Ethiopians. They're saying, Ethiopians have a big head and forehead, 65 inch. Can you imagine?
I don't have a forehead. So I'm a proof, yes.
65 inch. And someone said, they don't need a wall for the projector. They can use the forehead. Is this what Ethiopia deserves after the black consciousness? Tell me. And I love Habeshas.
Why?
Habeshas.
Why do you like Habeshas?
I don't want to go into the details.
But please, just tell us some highlights.
I love Habesha. I don't like Higas.
Huh?
Higa.
Oh my goodness, I think we're having a hard time pronouncing words.
Higa is a term for a preacher Pan-Africanist.
Here in Ethiopia?
Yes, in my dictionary.
Oh, okay, then say that.
Higa is the Habesha house nigger. Habesha house nigger is someone who says, we should have been colonized by Italy. It's called the Habesha house nigger. Our name should have been Roberto Benini Caninoli Ravioli. Is this what Alula Banaga and the Minilik and Tedros teach you?
No.
And some Higa, Habesha house nigger, told me last time, if we were colonized by Italy, none of the earthquake would have happened.
You're kidding.
Yes. A classic Higa, Habesha house nigger. Yes.
Oh my God, we need to find that person who said that. Who says that?
I need to kill him. If we were colonized by Mussolini, none of these earthquakes would happen. Earthquake. What does the earthquake have to do with being colonized? It is a natural disaster.
True.
Yes.
True. Yeah.
I don't like Higas, but I like Habeshas. Real Habeshas.
Take approved.
Yes. Mostly the women. I don't like abeshamin. Most women West Africans find abeshamin not attractive. Chicken legs. They have no chicken legs here. Big head here, like this. Not proportional. But abesha women. Whoop!
That's nature, sir.
Next question. Cigarettes. Next question.
Oh my God, my cheeks hurts right now because I'm laughing.
I'm glad I'm entertaining you.
Again, I'm
While
enjoying.
sending a powerful message for my people. Yes, the spirit of our ancestors are calling me to awaken the Ethiopians. We have to make Ethiopia great again. If you make Ethiopia great again, you can make Africa great again.
That is
Yes.
going to be the step.
Ethiopia is the soul for the black consciousness.
But one thing that I don't want to pass is the love that you have for Ethiopia and Ethiopians. That's amazing.
You see, sister, if you look at history, if you look at, for example, Haile Selassie, did you watch the video of Haile Selassie and John F. Kennedy? It looks like John F. Kennedy was working for Haile Selassie. Like he was his protocol. He was so graceful. Yes? I want to bring that Ethiopia. The Ethiopia in the Bible, eh? Ethiopia in the Bible, you see, Ethiopia in the Bible is from A to Z. From Genesis to Revelations. Ethiopians were there. Even in some part of the Bible, it says it puts Ethiopians as the best role model for Israelis. So I want to bring that Ethiopia and the Ethiopia in the history books back to life.
Through preaching.
Yes, Pan-Africanism. Yes, woo! You set me up. I can't stop now. And if you see Haile Selassie, while His Majesty was visiting America, you see Kennedy. Kennedy looked like his protocol, Haile Selassie's protocol. The level of respect. True. But nowadays, you see Ethiopians outside of Ethiopia, they are treated like, you are Ethiopian. I don't want to see you. Don't come here. So I want to bring that Ethiopia to life. Yes.
I do understand that, and I know you can say a lot of things about why you love Ethiopia and Ethiopians and our history when it comes to what you've said, creating that black consciousness in our history and also on the present day.
You don't know. My father was a Pan-Africanist, he told me.
Really?
Yes. Back in the 60s, he said, in America, for a black man to visit Ethiopia was like going to Pan-African heaven, where you can see Haile Selassie, Nkrumah, Kenyatta, and no more white supremacists. It was like going to Europe. Yes? It was so classy back in the day.
Yes, and speaking about that idea that you brought up about colonization, about that person that said if we were colonized, the earthquake wouldn't have... Exactly. We're going to talk about that. In fact, that's going to be our wrapping up question. So the next question that I have for you is, we have talked about Ethiopia's role when it comes to Pan-Africanism. And one thing that we all cannot deny is the impact that we have through all across the globe. Especially like even we can see the flags, right? Green, yellow, red. It's like that is a brand that a lot of countries have adopted. So let's talk about the influence of Ethiopia all across the globe.
So after the victory of Adwa, you see, while most countries in our continent have, Independence Day, Ethiopia has the what?
Victory Day.
Wow. Cigar tips, you are a smart one. So is the green, the yellow, red. You see its influence even on Jamaicans.
Yes, yes.
Bob Marley. Is it true that you guys booed Bob Marley off stage in Gion Hotel here? I'm not staying at Gion Hotel.
I apologize.
They booed Bob Marley off stage. They said, who is this nigger? And they booed him off for, you know who they booed him off? For the Ethiopian famous singer.
I'm not going to say the name.
Most talented. Most talented. Don't worry. I'll take all the risks. Mulukan. And it's a very interesting story, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
How?
Bob Marley, he was booed off stage. He's a non-Ethiopian. He's Jamaican who loves Ethiopia, who was booed off stage in Gion. And Mulukan, in his final days, he hated Ethiopia. Have you seen his interview? The woman said, do you miss Ethiopia? He said, I don't miss Ethiopia. Do you miss your friends or family? No.
Oh, come on. That cannot be proof for someone hating
said
their country.
So let me tell you, from a Pan-Africanist view, Ethiopians booed Bob Marley. From a Pan-Africanist view, Ethiopians booed a non-Ethiopian who loves Ethiopia for an Ethiopian who doesn't love Ethiopia no more.
Okay, I'm going to lock that in.
What I'm trying to say is, I have no hatred for Mulukan, by the way, but I'm speaking reality. What I'm saying is some non-Ethiopians are more Ethiopians than the real Ethiopian. Because Bob Marley have promoted the green, the yellow, and the red more than some Ethiopian artists.
Well, yeah, we
Speaking
can
facts,
deny
yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they call me the preacher Pan-Africanist.
Well, I think the interview that Mulukan had, I don't know. I mean, you do have a point,
Watch
but
it again.
I just feel like that cannot be a proof for someone hating their country.
He hated it.
Okay, let's just
You can
leave
see
that
it in
there.
his face.
You cannot see it on his face. How can you see emotions on the face?
Because I'm a very good impressionist. Next question.
Okay, next question. You got a good way out. So the next question I have will bring us to the last and final thing that we'll be talking on, which is about colonization. And we Ethiopians are well known, even throughout our history, you said we're fighters, we're bold. And we have our victory day, right? We were never colonized. So I want to talk about colonization and at the same time Ethiopia. What do you think about those two things?
Well, I want to say, like I said, the Ethiopians
Yes.
in the Bible, Ethiopians in the history books, and you have present Ethiopians. Yes, present Ethiopians need to realize the reality. You have to realize that you were not colonized physically, yes, but colonization was never resolved. It has evolved. Yes, true. You are now being neo-colonized. It's called 5G colonization, by the way. Cultural, economy, and identity. Neo-colonization, right? And I can prove that to you if you want. Okay. Look at most Ethiopian buildings. What kind of name do they have?
Probably like normal names like...
restaurant names. That is a sign of neo-colonization.
Okay, give us an example.
French kiss building.
Wait, is there a building named like that?
Are they going to kiss the building or are they going to sleep there? Stay there. KKFC. Why don't you name it your own names? This is a sign of neo-colonization when your identity is colonized. Yes, so present Ethiopians need to realize that colonization was never resolved. It has evolved. It's called 5G colonization. So you need to stay away. You know, to stay away from the 5G colonization.
What shall we do?
Knowledge of self. Take more vitamin K. Knowledge of self. And then take action. Because vision and passion without action, Zelensky's situation, he's also Higa. He's also house nigger for the Europeans. Yes.
You need to have a new word for that one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I'll come up with it, trust me.
Okay, maybe we will talk
Cigar
about
tips.
that.
One day you'll buy me tips, I know.
I give you my word.
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. The time just went by so seamlessly, I didn't even feel like it. Thank you
We
again.
can do this again, I feel it.
Oh yes, I know, definitely.
Next time, have tips in Kitfo here.
I'm going to give you my word.
Empty. There's nothing here.
But you have to be visionary. You have to see it before it's there.
Please.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your time. You have any last words?
I don't have any last words.
All right, perfect. So
She's waiting for me.
Who is she?
I'll see you next time. Thank you. Yes, I'll see you next time.
So guys, I believe this episode is not only special, it is special episode as we had such a lovely time. We laughed, but at the same time, there were a lot of important topics that we brought about Pan-Africanism, about our country Ethiopia, about Africa and colonization, right?
Yes.
We brought up a lot of important...
5G colonization, the most dangerous one.
5G colonization is something that we should all notice and protect ourselves from. Thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you so much for being part of this episode. We'll see you next time with another amazing special guest to have such an interesting conversation. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.